Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Classical English Academy. I'm Tom.
And I'm Anna. Welcome to the show. If you want to improve your spoken English with real, natural conversations, you are exactly where you need to be.
That's right. Today, we are diving into a topic that absolutely everyone can relate to: daily life in English. We'll be chatting about our morning routines, our daily schedules, and the little things we do every single day.
It's the perfect way to pick up vocabulary you will actually use. But before we get started, we have a quick favor to ask. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Yes, if you enjoy our conversations, please like this video, leave us a comment below sharing your own daily routine, and share this video with your friends who are also learning English.
Your support helps us keep making these videos for you. All right, Tom, are you ready to jump into today's topic?
Let's get started.
Well, Tom, now that we've introduced the topic, I'm really curious. What does a typical morning actually look like for you? Are you one of those people who jumps out of bed the moment the sun comes up?
Oh, I wish. To be honest, Anna, my morning is a total battle with my alarm clock. I set about 5 different alarms on my phone, starting at 6:30 a.m. But when that first one rings, I don't even open my eyes. I just reach out, hit the snooze button, and go right back to sleep for another 10 minutes.
5 alarms? That sounds exhausting before the day even starts. How many times do you actually hit snooze before you finally get up?
Usually 3 or 4 times. By the time I actually stand up, it's 7:15 a.m., and I realize I'm already running late. It becomes a complete race. I'm rushing to the shower, trying to find matching socks, and brushing my teeth while I look for my car keys. It's definitely not a peaceful start to the day. What about you? I bet your routine is much more organized.
It is quite different, actually. I can't stand rushing. I usually wake up at 6 a.m., and the first thing I do is head straight to the kitchen. I love the smell of fresh coffee in the morning. It's the only thing that really wakes my brain up. I take my time grinding the beans and brewing a fresh pot.
That sounds like a dream compared to my morning chaos. Do you actually sit down to eat breakfast, or do you grab something on the way out?
I always sit down. I usually make a bowl of oatmeal with some fresh fruit, or maybe some toast with eggs. I like to spend at least 20 minutes just sitting by the window, sipping my coffee, and thinking about my goals for the day. It's my me time before the world gets too noisy.
I'm jealous. By that time, I'm usually sprinting to my car. Speaking of which, how do you actually get to work? Do you have to deal with the nightmare of morning traffic like I do?
Fortunately, no. I stopped driving to work a long time ago because the traffic was making me too stressed. Now I use public transport. I walk about 10 minutes to the station and catch the train. Sometimes I take the bus if the weather is nice.
The train? Isn't it crowded and loud during rush hour? I feel like I'd miss the privacy of my car, even if I am stuck in a traffic jam for 40 minutes.
It can be crowded, but I actually find it very productive. Since I don't have to keep my eyes on the road, I can use that time for myself. I usually put on my noise-canceling headphones and listen to a podcast or some lo-fi music. If I'm feeling motivated, I'll open a book and get through a few chapters. It makes the commute feel much shorter.
That's a great way to use the time. I just spend my commute talking to myself and complaining about the red light. But even though I'm always in a rush, I have one really annoying habit I can't seem to break before I leave the house.
Oh? What's that?
No matter how late I am, I have this triple check ritual. I'll be halfway out the door, and then I'll stop. I have to go back inside to check if the stove is off, even though I didn't even cook anything. Then I check if the windows are locked, and finally, I check if I actually have my wallet in my pocket. I do this every single day.
That's actually quite relatable. It's better to be safe than sorry, Tom, even if it means you're 5 minutes later than you already were.
So, Anna, after that hectic morning of mine and your peaceful train ride, we both eventually end up at our desks. What's the very first thing you do when you walk into the office? Do you dive straight into the deep end of work?
Not quite. The first thing I do is put my bag away and take a deep breath. I have a little ritual where I clear my desk. I can't think if there's clutter around me. Once my space is clean, I open my laptop and spend the first 30 minutes just going through my emails. I flag the ones that need an immediate reply and archive the junk. It helps me feel like I'm in control of my day.
That sounds so organized. I usually open my email and immediately feel like I'm drowning in a sea of unread messages. I don't really get that quiet time to organize because my mornings are usually packed with meetings.
From 9:30 a.m. until noon, it feels like I'm jumping from one video call to another or sitting in a conference room discussing project deadlines.
Meetings can be so draining. How do you manage to stay focused when you're dealing with so many different coworkers and their various opinions all morning?
It's a challenge, honestly. I've had to learn how to manage my schedule strictly. I use a digital calendar and block out focus time where no one is allowed to book a meeting with me. If I didn't do that, I'd spend my whole day talking about work and never actually doing any of it. By the time 1 p.m. rolls around, my brain is usually fried and I'm ready for a break.
I feel the same way. Lunch is my favorite part of the workday because it's a total reset. I'm quite disciplined about it. I try to step away from my screen entirely. I usually bring a healthy salad or a quinoa bowl that I prepped the night before. If the weather is nice, I'll walk over to the small park near my office and sit on a bench under a tree. Just 20 minutes of fresh air makes a world of difference.
You're much healthier than I am. My lunch habit is a bit of a mixed bag. Some days, if I'm being good, I'll bring leftovers from the night before, maybe some pasta or chicken and rice. But most of the time, since I'm always running behind, I end up grabbing street food. There's a kebab stand and a taco truck right around the corner from my building. It's fast, it's delicious, but it definitely makes me feel a bit sleepy afterward.
Oh, I know that feeling. That food coma is dangerous, especially when you have to go back to work. Speaking of being sleepy, how do you handle the afternoon slump? You know, that time around 3 p.m. when your energy just hits zero and you start staring blankly at the computer screen?
That 3 p.m. wall is real. For me, it's all about the caffeine. I usually head to the break room for a second or third cup of coffee. I also find that standing up and stretching or walking over to a colleague's desk to chat for 5 minutes helps wake me up. If I stay sitting down, I might actually fall asleep at my keyboard.
I try to avoid the extra caffeine that late in the day, or I won't be able to sleep at night. Instead, I usually grab a cold glass of water and a handful of almonds or a piece of dark chocolate. I also find that switching to a simpler task, something that doesn't require heavy thinking, helps me get through those final 2 hours of the day.
That's a smart move. Maybe I'll try the almonds instead of the espresso next time, but I make no promises.
So, Tom, we've made it through the workday, but the day isn't over yet. For most of us, after work comes the second shift, the errands. I actually enjoy grocery shopping, but I have a feeling you might have a different opinion on it. Am I right?
Oh, you have no idea, Anna. To me, the supermarket is like a battlefield, especially if I go right after work. It's always so crowded. Everyone is pushing their carts, the aisles are blocked, and for some reason, I always end up behind the person who has 50 coupons to scan at the checkout line. It's exhausting.
It can be chaotic if you go during the rush hour, but surely you have a list to help you get in and out quickly?
That's the problem. I usually write a list on a scrap of paper, but then I leave it sitting on my kitchen counter. I walk into the store, look at the shelves, and my mind goes completely blank. I end up wandering around aimlessly, buying things I don't need, like 3 jars of pickles, and forgetting the things I actually do need, like milk or bread.
3 jars of pickles? That's hilarious. See, I'm the exact opposite. I use a shopping app on my phone, so I never lose my list. I also plan my meals for the entire week every Sunday. Because I know exactly what I'm going to cook, I only buy the ingredients I need. It saves me so much money, and I always look for the buy one get one free deals or the store discounts.
I really need to learn your ways. I'm definitely an impulsive shopper. But what about all the other little things? Life isn't just about food. How do you find time for the other chores, like going to the bank, stopping by the post office, or picking up dry cleaning? I feel like my to-do list just grows longer every week.
It's all about the power hour. I try to group my errands together by location. For example, the bank and the post office are right next to my pharmacy. So instead of going to one place each day, I do them all on Tuesday afternoon during my lunch break or right after work. I find that if I tick off 3 things in one trip, I don't feel stressed about them for the rest of the week.
Grouping them together is smart. I usually realize I need to go to the post office 10 minutes after they've already closed. I think my brain just isn't wired for that kind of coordination. I remember one time I went to this massive new department store to find a specific type of light bulb.
A light bulb? That sounds like a simple enough mission. What happened?
Well, the store was like a maze. I started in the home section, got distracted by some cool kitchen gadgets, ended up in the garden center, and suddenly realized I had no idea where the exit was or where the light bulbs were. I was walking in circles for 20 minutes. I was too embarrassed to ask for help, so I just kept walking until I found myself in the loading dock area where the trucks park. I literally got lost looking for a light bulb.
Oh, Tom, that sounds like a scene from a movie. Did you ever find the bulb, or did you go home in the dark?
I eventually found a staff member who looked at me like I was crazy and pointed me to aisle 4. I bought the bulb and ran out of there as fast as I could. Now, I try to stick to the small local shops where I can't get lost.
After all those errands and a long day at the office, there is truly no better feeling than finally making it home. For me, the journey back on the train is my time to decompress. But the real relaxation starts the second I turn my key in the lock. Tom, what's the first thing you do when you finally step inside your house?
Anna, the very first thing I do is drop my keys on the table and kick off my shoes. I can't stand wearing work clothes for a second longer than I have to. It's like a physical switch in my brain. I immediately head upstairs and change into my most comfortable sweatpants and an old t-shirt. If it's been a particularly stressful day, I'll jump straight into a hot shower. It feels like I'm literally washing the stress of the office away.
I completely understand that. I do something very similar. I usually change into my favorite loungewear and put on some soft jazz or acoustic music in the background. It sets the tone for the evening. Once I feel settled, I head to the kitchen. Some people find cooking a chore, but for me, it's actually how I unwind.
You actually enjoy cooking after a full day of work? I usually just stare at the fridge and hope a fully cooked meal magically appears. What do you usually make when you're tired but hungry?
I have a few go-to recipes that are super simple. My favorite weeknight meal is a quick lemon and garlic pasta. I just boil some spaghetti, saute some fresh garlic and olive oil, squeeze in some lemon juice, and toss in some fresh parsley and Parmesan cheese. It takes maybe 15 minutes, and it's so much better than ordering takeout. It's light, fresh, and makes the house smell amazing.
Okay, that actually sounds delicious and manageable. I usually take the low-effort route. If I didn't grab street food for lunch, I might make a quick stir-fry or just some eggs and toast. But once dinner's finished and the dishes are done, that's when my favorite part of the day starts. I finally get to dive into my hobbies.
And what does Tom's hobby time look like? Are you a bookworm or are you glued to a screen?
It depends on my mood. Most nights, I love getting lost in a good TV series. I'm a big fan of mystery shows, the kind where you have to try and guess the killer before the end of the episode. But if I've had a lot of energy, I might jump online and play a few rounds of a video game with my friends. It's a great way to socialize without actually having to leave the house again. On quieter nights, I'll pick up a biography or a history book and read a few chapters before my eyes start getting heavy.
It's so important to have those moments to recharge. I usually spend my evenings journaling or perhaps doing a little bit of light yoga to stretch out my muscles after sitting at a desk all day. But I'm curious, Tom, because you mentioned your morning starts with 5 alarms. What time do you actually go to sleep? Do you have a strict bedtime routine to make sure you get enough rest?
I really try to be in bed by 11 p.m., but I'm terrible at sticking to it. I'll say just one more episode or just 5 more minutes of this book, and suddenly it's midnight. I don't really have a routine other than checking my phone one last time, which I know is a bad habit, and setting those 5 alarms we talked about earlier. I think that's why I'm so tired in the morning.
I thought so. You might find those mornings a bit easier if you put the phone away an hour before bed. I turn off all my screens at 10 p.m., drink a cup of herbal tea, and I'm usually fast asleep by 10:30 p.m. It makes a world of difference.
Anna, we finally made it! There is no better sound in the world than the clock hitting 5 p.m. on a Friday. The second I shut down my computer, my entire mindset shifts. It's like a heavy weight is lifted off my shoulders. I usually spend my Friday nights doing absolutely nothing productive, just ordering some pizza, sitting on the couch, and enjoying the fact that I don't have to set those 5 alarms for the next morning. Do you feel that same sense of relief, or are you already planning your Saturday chores?
Oh, I definitely feel the relief, Tom. But my Friday night is usually very quiet because I know what's coming on Saturday morning. While you're probably catching up on your favorite shows, I'm mentally preparing my cleaning list. I actually like to start my Saturday early, around 8 a.m. I put on some upbeat music, open all the windows to let in the fresh air, and get to work.
8 a.m. on a Saturday? That sounds like a nightmare. What could possibly be so urgent that it can't wait until later in the day?
It's just my routine. First, I start the laundry so it can dry while I do everything else. Then I move through the house room by room. I sweep the floors, dust the shelves, and give the kitchen a deep clean. There's something so satisfying about seeing a sparkling clean house before noon. Once the chores are done, I feel like I truly earn the rest of my weekend. I can relax on Saturday evening knowing that everything is organized and fresh.
I admire your discipline, Anna, but I am the complete opposite. My Saturday morning is strictly for sleeping in. I usually don't even roll out of bed until 10:30 or 11 a.m. My philosophy is that the weekend is for living, not for working. I spend my Saturdays meeting up with friends for coffee, going for a long walk in the park, or maybe catching a movie. The thought of picking up a broom on a Saturday makes me want to go back to sleep.
But Tom, if you spend all Saturday having fun and relaxing, when do the actual chores get done? Your laundry doesn't wash itself, and those dishes in the sink won't disappear on their own.
You're right, they don't. I'll admit it, I leave everything until Sunday night. Around 6 p.m. on Sunday, I realize that I have no clean shirts for Monday and the trash needs to be taken out. That's when I go into a panic cleaning mode. It's not the most relaxing way to spend a Sunday evening, but it allows me to keep my Saturday completely free for fun.
That sounds so stressful. I would be worried about my chores all weekend if I did that. How do you actually balance that panic cleaning with the need to prepare for the upcoming work week? Don't you feel exhausted by the time Monday morning comes around?
It's a delicate balance for sure. To keep myself from burning out, I've developed a Sunday reset strategy. After I finish my quick cleaning session, I dedicate Sunday afternoon to pure relaxation. I'll go for a slow drive, listen to a long-form podcast, or just sit in a cafe with a notebook and jot down my goals for the new week. It helps me clear my head. By the time I go to bed on Sunday night, I feel like I've had enough fun to last me through the next 5 days of work.
I like the idea of a Sunday reset, even if your Saturday is a bit messy. I think the key is finding what works for your personality. I need the order and the cleanliness to feel calm, while you need the freedom and the social time to feel recharged.
Exactly. Whether you're a Saturday cleaner or a Sunday procrastinator like me, the goal is the same, making sure we're ready to face another week at the Classical English Academy.
Well, that brings us to the end of our first episode. It was so interesting to hear how different our mornings are, Tom. I think I'll stick to my coffee and quiet time, though.
And I'll probably keep hitting that snooze button. But we want to hear from all of you watching at home. What does your morning routine look like? Are you an early bird like Anna or a night owl like me?
Let us know in the comments below. We love reading your stories and seeing how you practice your English. If you found this conversation helpful for your listening skills, please give this video a thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Classical English Academy so you never miss an episode. We have a lot more daily life topics coming your way soon.
Also, make sure to share this video with your friends or anyone you know who is working on their English. Spreading the word helps our community grow.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye, everyone.